King's Black Heart. The end. The scene opens back before the maelstrom. Alistair, Juno, and Ivan all look to where you've just plummeted off the cliffs, down into the maelstrom in stunned silence. Before, at last, Alistair manages a quiet, decimated, "No. No, Juno, can you retrieve them?" "I fear not, my prince. I'm sorry. I have failed you both." Alistair staggers to his feet, taking a few shaky steps towards the cliffside. "Alistair, don't! You aren't going to be any better to them dead." "What else is left for me, Ivan? At least give me the dignity of dying by their side. Do not ask me to go on, please. I can't. I can't take the pain. I can't go back to that cold, dark castle without them." He draws a weak breath, shoulders trembling as he breaks down. "I promised I'd always protect them, and like everything else, I fucking failed." "King Alistair." "You can argue with me until time ends, Juno. But I'm going down there, and I'm going to get them out, be ripped to shreds, or fucking both. I don't care. Ivan's too drained after his little lightning stunt to use any magic. Your arm is damned near falling off. We don't have time to argue. If I die, I die. So fucking be it." He turns back toward what, to him, can only sound like hell itself roaring, and continues his pained journey even as Ivan and Juno cry out behind him. "Alistair!" "I'm coming to get you, my love. I promise. I promise." The sound of rushing, roaring water spraying upward makes him take a few steps back, startled. "Juno, call off your damned water horses. I still have Ivan's spell going on, and I can see them." "That is not Juno's magic." "Then who?" All three of them cry out in what you think is surprise as you step from the herd of water horses, dragging your father out with you. "My everything." He takes a few more steps forward before collapsing against you, sobbing and sinking to his knees. "Pearl! Oh, thank the moon spirits! Oh, gods, I'm sobbing. It's hard to see. I'm running over there to hug you, Pearl. Just stay right there. Don't you ever go anywhere again, all right?" You hold both your men as they sob, and remain stoic as your father looks up at you, uncertain. You rumble at him for a bit, and he rumbles back before he stands, and, with one last look of uncertainty, limps away. "You are letting him go. What did he say to you?" "They said, 'Go in peace, lest your heart turns black enough that the dogs of vengeance find you.'" The callback. "You learned one of my magic spells, and I didn't even realize. You're much more cutthroat and conniving than I thought. Do you perhaps have room for one more in your harem?" "Juno!" "If you keep making everyone fall in love with you, I might start getting a bit jealous, my love. Especially since I already have to play nice with Ivan. Wait." Alistair glances down at his hand, and you see the same spirit marking he'd mocked before spreading across his ring finger. "And there it is, the fucking spirit marking. Gods damn it. I didn't even get romanced, and now you're telling me I'm part of that tiny mer's harem?" "Oh, your harem. Well, that's all right then. And no, I'm not going to stop holding you for at least a year. Good thing you found your Verosian strength, "Yes, now you'll be able to drag 3 lovesick fans of yours around." You roll your eyes and drag them over, getting Juno in your arms before you load everyone up on Muffin. "Okay, you have Juno. Good." "Juno did not expect you to have such strong arms, advisor." For fuck's sakes. Adopted a whole brood, have we? Does that mean I get to call you Dad? Absolutely not. We're on the bear. Ugh, wet fur. Let's just get home. We have a lot of planning to do, and resting. Lots and lots of resting. You hang on to your odd little family as Muffin happily stomps home. You're not sure what your future looks like now, but whatever it is, you sense. Whatever it does have is, you sense, good. Time transitions to 6 months later. The scene opens back in the Rosanian Royal Ballroom. Beautiful music fills the Royal Ballroom as a mix of peoples, deep Fens, Rosanians, and more, watch you take the altar, Alistair on one side and Ivan on the other. Ivan's hand shakes as you hold it, and you see him bouncing lightly on his feet. Alistair remains stoic, squeezing your hand gently on occasion. Thank you. For what? For loving me enough that you never gave up on me. To trust that there was still some good in this broken old body. And for thinking me good enough to be your husband. I can't stand here and say I'm not thankful either. I was impulsive with you, overexcited to have found my other half. Well, third, I guess. You look good in marriage garb, Alistair. Garbage compared to our Pearl, but you know how it is. I'd regret it if I didn't say you looked nice as well, Ivan. Very nice that your tailor makes outfits for toy dogs. Measurements are much easier. Asshole. Both men straighten. The priest is indeed glaring at us. Apologies. Apologies, Hector. Please proceed. The priest rolls his eyes, but reads out the rites to the three of you. On occasion, his eyes dart nervously to the ring bearer, who is literally a bear. Muffin sits with Juno, happily munching on fruit. I take my pearl. And I take my everything. In holy matrimony. Now and forever. In this life. And in the next. May we be bound. The priest nods and gestures, binding the three of you in a spell, and completing the spirit markings. Only then does he give you the okay to kiss, and you do. You kiss Alistair, then Ivan, then Juno, then Alistair and Ivan kiss, and then Muffin kisses everyone, like it or not. Gods, our Pearl took my breath away with that kiss, and then you knocked it back down my throat with your tongue, Alistair. I warned you before not to bite my lip, Ivan, or my earlobe. All right. Look at that. Our kingdoms are intermingling, my Pearl. The bonds are strengthening, and the future looks brighter than it ever could without you. I think I agree with that. Thanks to you, we're stronger than ever, and in the best position to open trade routes and take care of our people. He kisses your shoulder, smiling warmly. I am so proud of you. As am I. Now, let's say we all get so drunk that Juno has to shake their head in disapproval for years after. Joke is on you, Kingy. Juno is already shaking their head in disapproval at Juno. The three of you share a quiet laugh, hands still interlinked. What do you think, love? You did promise to save me a dance. Ivan smiles, just as warm. Then let this night be one to remember, the night we all began our lives together. Cheers, then, to the future. Together, you all head out onto the dance floor. No matter how drunk Juno is, how Muffin raids the food, or how Alistair and Ivan bicker, you feel safe, in control, powerful, The end. I'd like to share the afterthoughts here written by the author, ItsEsmeJones. Though it wasn't always easy and they had their fights, Ivan, Alistair, the advisor, and Juno were able to bring together their kingdoms to create not only a profitable, safer kingdom, but one that most would think twice before engaging in a militaristic fashion. With Alistair injured, he would relinquish hold of the deep fens thrown to you, ironically becoming your advisor. Your name, be it in Viros, the deep fens, or Rasan, would echo throughout history as one of unquestionable honor, strength, and compassion. Ivan would grow into his own as a new king, still maintaining his compassion and sensibility. He did relent to Alistair's request that security measures be a bit more drastic, should the occasion arise. Ever the dedicated husband and lover, Ivan would dote and be at their side as often as possible. He'd also take every opportunity he could to tease Alistair about this or that. He lived a long, content life at your side, and never regretted any of it. It would take many years of hard work of this new thing called counseling you discovered in Rasan before the bond between you and Alistair was mended fully. He worked hard, never complaining once, and always expressed his contentment to simply be at your side. He stepped down from the throne gracefully and proved to be a great advisor in his own right. If the advisor wanted children, be it via adoption or natural means, they would receive a daughter via Alistair and a son via Ivan. Alistair proved to be a surprisingly good father, patient but knowing when to put his foot down. Ivan was a good father as well, but never had it in him to handle the disciplining. It didn't surprise anyone when your son turned out to be a bit of a delinquent. You loved them all the same, your little family. Sometimes you'd wake up and Juno would be in bed with you. Neither of you could ever explain this and stopped trying after the 15th time. They're a good cuddler anyways. Muffin was also a great cuddler. Unfortunately, Muffin was also a 400-pound grizzly bear. You'd received the occasional letter from your father as he aged. Whether you answered them or not has been lost to history, and scholars still debate how you would eventually go on to take Viros, a story for another time perhaps. Your mother was, at last, given a proper burial, same as the villagers that were simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. Despite Ivan's reluctance, Alistair recovered Geordie, her murderer, and he was given a gruesome punishment. You found it difficult to be sad for him. Your life and deeds will be forever remembered. You, the one that saved a king's blackened heart without losing your own. So those are just the afterthoughts of the script, and this is the note here from Esme. Holy moly, another series down. For now, these nerds will more than likely come back. These nerds will more than likely come back sooner or later. A big thanks to all my usual readers. You know who you are, and I love you. Another big thanks to the voice actors that have been along for the ride. Wasn't expecting this series to take off, but I'm glad folks have enjoyed the ride. Thank you again for all the love and support. Again, that's just a side note here from the scripts writer, ItsEsmeJones. You can find them on Twitter and Reddit. I'll link their appropriate channels down below. I've spoken to them many times over the course of doing these scripts, and for other reasons. They know that I appreciate them, but it goes with saying again here that obviously I couldn't have put on this series without them. I appreciate the writing and everything that they've done for me. I'm very glad that I was able to bring these characters to life for you in these videos. I hope that I did the script justice. I think we found somewhat of a relationship between the way that I was envisioning the characters influencing the scripts at least slightly, and then that would influence me to progress the characters. It's kind of like a I don't know what the term would be, not a symbiotic, but it worked out. It was like I know that she didn't write this series with me in mind, or that they didn't write the series with me in mind, but as it progressed further, I can't help but feel that, obviously we influenced each other a little bit. So it's been a journey, and I thank you all for sticking around and being interested in listening to it. So in the meantime, this will wrap up this series. I am sad, but understand that, like I said in one of the comments in another video, every story comes to an end, and I think that this one reached a good part here. And we might hear from these three again, or what are we up to, 4 now? That this harem might come back in some form again. But in the meantime, I'll be taking on other projects. I thank you so much for listening. If you like the series, if you want to see more from this channel, the spiel with YouTube videos. Give it a like, support the video, subscribe to me if you want to see more from me. It was an interesting challenge. I enjoyed, as I've said in other videos, I really only do like 1 or 2 read-throughs. I don't even always voice them before I do a take of doing these. So the majority of these videos and switching back and forth between voices were done. I don't edit them, so it's all in one take. There's been a few videos that I had to redo or start over from the beginning due to I forgot to turn my phone off or something and it randomly rings or some other assorted nonsense. So it's pushed me to be better, and I appreciate that from my viewers and from the scriptwriter. So I won't go too much more into detail, but since this is the last video in this series, I thought I'd give a little bit of an insight into how my thought process and the experience was. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. So it's been a true pleasure of mine. I'll be back soon with more. Thank you guys. Peace.